Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the world of literature. Today we'll be doing poetry in paper 1 2024 GCE. So, one of the key takeaways that you're going to benefit from this lesson is that it will teach you what a eulogy is, a rhyme scheme, and a metaphor. So, let's go to the question and see what it has for us this evening. So let's check out the question, and it reads. So this is the question 4 that came in 2024 GCE. So read the passage carefully and answer as concisely as possible the questions that follow. So it's a poem, and Here Lies a Lady by John Crove Ramson. So, and the poem reads, Here lies a lady of beauty and high degree, of chills and fever she died, of fever and chills, the delight of her husband, her auntie, an infant of 3, and delicious marveling sweetling on her ears. For for either she burned, and her confident eyes would blaze, and her fingers fly in a manner to puzzle their heads. What was she making? Why, nothing. She sat in a maze of odd scraps of laces, snipped into curious shreds. Oh, this would pass, and the light of her fire declined till she lay discouraged and cold, like a stalk white and brown, and would not open her eyes to kisses, to wine. The 60th of these states was her last. The cold settled down. Sweet ladies, long may ye bloom, and Taffly, I hope ye may too. But was she not lucky in flowers and lace and mourning, in love and great honor? We bade God rest her soul after 6 little spaces of chill and burning. So this is the poem. So this is a script that was gotten from an author called John Crove Ramson. Question 1 reads, what do we call a 4-stanza poem? What do we call a 4-stanza poem? So a 4-stanza poem is called a ballad. It's called a ballad. So it's called a ballad here. Sorry. Let me do this here. Let me mark it here as the ballad. It's called a ballad. So we go to question 2. Question 2 reads, what is a rhyme scheme? Give full representation of the rhyme scheme in the stanza. So a rhyme scheme, this is a pattern of similar consonant sounds at the end of a sentence in a stanza. So let's go to the extract they gave us. So we want to determine the rhyme scheme of stanza 1. So, and it says, here lies a lady of beauty and high degree. When you look at this, degree will become our A. Degree will become our A. Then, of chills and fever she died. Of fever and chills. So, if you look at degree and chills, they are not rhyming words. They are not rhyming. So, meaning chills will be B. Then, the delight of her husband, her auntie, an infant of 3. So 3 and degree are rhyming words. When you check out degree and 3, they rhyme. So it will be A. Our rhyme scheme will be A. Then the last sentence in the first stanza says, and of Medicus marveling sweet of her use. Use and choose rhyme. So meaning that there will be B. So it will be B. So our rhyme scheme for this extract was A B. Okay. So let's go to the next question. I hope we are all understanding where this is coming from. Yes. So the next question states, state what a metaphor is and cite a line in stanza 2 that exemplifies it. So a metaphor, what is a metaphor? A metaphor is a comparison between two unlike things without the use of like or as. Comparison between two unlike things without the use of like or as. So let's go to the extract. The question says, state what a metaphor is and cite an example in stanza 2. So we have already stated what a metaphor is. So when you go to stanza 2, let us read and check out which one is a metaphor. For either she burned, her confident eyes would blaze, her fingers fly in a manner to puzzle their heads. What was she making? Why? Nothing. She sat in a maze of odd scraps of laces snipped into curious shades. So when you look at this, her fingers fly in a manner to puzzle their heads. So when you look at the second sentence in the second stanza, it's comparing the finger and the head flying. There are two unlike things that are being compared there. Finger and head. So, and how does this same metaphor exemplify the same statement? So, it shows how the finger and the head are two different things and they are not alike. So yes, we'll go to the next question. Hope you're following. It states, state stanza 3 contains an example of a simile. Cite this simile and state two things being compared. Stanza 3 contains what? A simile. So we'll go to stanza 3 and it reads, oh, this would pass and the light of her fire decline till she lay discouraged and cold, like stalk white and brown, and would not open her eyes to kisses, to wine. The 60th of these states was her last. The cold settled down. So for us to discover what the simile in this is, we have to know what a simile actually is. So a simile is a comparison between two unlike things with the use of like or as. So in a metaphor, we do not use like or as when we're comparing, but in a simile, we use like or as. So that's how it is. Hope you're following. So which one is a simile in stanza 3? So the use of like or as, we go to this one, which says, till she lay discouraged and cold, like a stalk white and brown. So meaning that this is our simile in stanza 3. So question F, how does line 16 neatly summarizes the demise of the lady? How does line 16 neatly summarize the demise of the lady? So we'll count. Which one is line 16? This is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4. So the last one is line 16. So Line 16 says, after 6 little spaces of chill and 6 of burning. So, in the actual sense, what was trying to be brought about in this extract or the story was that the woman who was suffering from a fever, she was burning cold in chills. So, the line 16 simply simplifies everything by stating how she died and what made her to die. And she died of what? Chills and 6 of burning. So G, question G. Define theme and state 3 themes in the poem. So what do you understand by the term theme? Theme is a central